16. Murder and investigation. Passerby.
She asked passers-by for directions.
Immediately.
He came home immediately after work. They heard a loud explosion from the building immediately next to them.
At first.
At first, she didn't like the job, but soon found it really interesting.
Drown.
He drowned at sea.
By accident.
I met her by accident at the subway station.
Rule out.
The police have ruled out the possibility of suicide.
Possibility.
There is always the possibility of human error.
Detective.
She is a detective in the police force.
Investigate.
The detective investigated the theft.
Identify.
A baby identifies its mother by her voice.
Victim.
The victims of the recent flood need immediate aid.
Search.
The police searched for the murder weapon. Hundreds of people joined the search for the people listed as missing.
Evidence.
There is very little evidence against the accused.
Suspect. Suspect.
There are 2 suspects for the robbery. The police suspect that he might have killed his wife.
Owe.
He owes the bank $10,000. He owes $10,000 to the bank.
I owe you a big favor. I owe her an apology.
Amount.
They spent a huge amount of money on the project. His whole debt amounted to $2 million.
Debt.
He has no way of paying off his large debt.
Deny.
He denied that he had anything to do with the murder.
Accuse A of B.
He was accused of robbing the tourists. She accused her husband of lying.
At last.
At last, the police arrested the murderer.
Confess.
After hours of questioning, the suspect confessed to murder.
Arrest.
He got arrested for drunk driving. She was placed under arrest for suspicion of kidnapping.
Charge A with B.
They charged the mayor with negligence and corruption.
Negligence.
The accident was caused by negligence of both of the drivers. Words in context. A passerby found a dead body in a stream. He reported it to the police immediately. At first, it seemed that the victim had fallen and drowned by accident. But the police didn't rule out the possibility of murder and called in doctors to examine the body. The doctors found that the man had been killed before his body was thrown into the stream. The detectives started an investigation. First, they had to identify the victim. The victim was identified as a banker named Tom Smith. The investigators searched for a suspect and found that a man named Brandon Bruce had owed a huge amount of debt to the victim. At first, Bruce denied the accusation, but the investigators found the weapon he had used to kill Mr. Smith. Soon, they found enough evidence to accuse him. At last, Bruce confessed to his crime. Bruce was arrested and charged with murder.